Ms. Stevens.
Thank you, Madam Chair. It's evident we have three great community college systems represented here today. LCTCC, we're very proud of your background, Dr. Sullivan. Ivy Tech, which I've gotten to know from my time in workforce development, and Oakland Community College in Michigan. It is Community College Week in Washington, D.C., and folks are talking about the skills gap. Now, in the 116th Congress, we introduced the College Affordability Act as a Democratic majority, which included the expanded Pell Grants. I was just outside talking with our community college friends from Michigan about this, and so Dr. Sullivan, I was wondering if you could extrapolate on this opportunity of expanding Pell for some of the short-term work programs to get people into skills and employment opportunities.
First of all, thank you for the question. This is an area where it is clear that we have bipartisan support. When you think about the number of individuals stranded in this economy, 60 million individuals who don't have the skills needed in order to be able to get that first job, we have a point-in-time opportunity to change the trajectory of millions of Americans and ensure that they get back into the economy. When you think about being down 5 percentage points in workforce participation, think of the millions of people that are impacted. Think of the millions of young people that are impacted. And I would say to you this, the best teaching for young people is to watch their parents. Let's give those parents an opportunity to be educated and skilled at a level that allows them to provide for their children and their family. That is the greatest education a young person can see.
Well, this is a great action item for us in the 118th Congress and a way to come together. And as we talk about the American education in crisis, we know that our waivers for free and reduced lunch that were expanded during the pandemic have expired. And we have 10 million students at risk of going hungry. My father was a public school teacher and often brought culinary into his classroom to meet those needs. We know that 96% of school systems in this country are now saying that they are experiencing debt. And obviously, Mrs. Gentles, I know in your testimony you had a brief section talking about the worsening school climate, and I was just wondering if you could validate that not having the monies for schools to provide free and reduced lunch is contributing to that worsening school climate.
I'm not sure what you're talking about. I apologize as far as not having.
You're not sure what I'm talking about with regard to
the free and reduced
providing
lunch
free and
funding.
Reduced lunch and the fact that we don't have waivers and schools are incurring debt as a result.
Yeah,
it's been in the news a lot.
The fact that schools are going into debt because they don't have their free and reduced price lunch funding. No, I'm sorry, I'm not familiar with that.
Well, we'd be happy to exchange with you on that, and certainly I know in your brief section in your testimony dedicated to the worsening school climate, one would oblige that not having the monies to provide lunches, which Mr. Polis, our great governor of Colorado, you've implemented some tremendous programs for the pandemic relief and for providing free and reduced lunch, and I was wondering if you could share with us specifically some of the results that you're seeing in Colorado.
Yeah, so of course we, like most states, took advantage of the extended free lunch during the pandemic, and we now have chosen, starting next fall, to move forward with free lunch for everybody available and free breakfast as well. What that means is, of course, it's optional. Some parents want to pack lunch, that's fine. Removes any stigma associated with school lunch, and frankly, reduces a lot of paperwork and overhead associated with who pays what and who does what. It makes it a lot easier freeing up school resources to be used on teacher pay and classroom instruction. So first and foremost, making schools have the nutrition, kids have the nutrition they need to succeed if they don't get those healthy meals at home. Reducing overhead and bureaucratic waste. And saving families money on lunches.
And you have a ballot measure cooking to alleviate the burden of filling out school meal applications and ensure that no child falls through the cracks. This is something we hear a lot, the stigma, the shame. Could you speak to that ballot measure?
With the free lunches, did you say? Yeah, so there's no longer any forms associated with it, which had always been an issue, especially for non-English speaking families, for families that valued their privacy. You know, all these sort of nosy, government questions just to get the lunch. You no longer have to answer those. It would be, lunch are provided to everybody. If you want to take advantage of it, you can. There's no check card you need. There's no stigma associated with it, and it will save every family who wants to participate in that the cost of a school lunch.
Feed our kids, educate America. Thank you, Madam Chair. I yield.